In the past, when things got hard in my relationships, when I felt disrespected and the fighting was more than I could bear, my safest defense, walk away. And yet, my wife Arlene and I, we dove into our crazy cycle again. And it almost happened again. I could have felt justified to find someone else. And not because I don't love her, I just don't know what else to do. Every time she pushed me away, I defended harder. And the harder I defended, the more she attacked. The more she pulled away. The more she pushed me away. I thought I was losing her. What I didn't see, what I couldn't see, was that she wasn't pulling away or pushing me away to hurt me. She was protecting a wound that I did not cause. And so I kept pressing on without knowing. Defend, defend, defend. And I want to share what finally changed everything and how choosing unconditional love in that moment broke the crazy cycle and began our healing. And later in this video, you'll hear directly from Arlene, live from the Philippines, as she shares what she was really feeling during that moment, or during those moments, and her honesty floored me. And I think it might move you as well.
Dr. Emerson Eggerichs calls it the crazy cycle, a pattern that destroys marriages when love and respect break down. He points to Ephesians 5:33, where God calls husbands to love their wives and the wives to respect their husbands. But when a husband feels disrespected, he often reacts in a way that is unloving. And when a wife feels unloved, she reacts in a way that is often disrespectful. And so it spins. Hurt feeding hurt, outburst meeting silence, or worse, escalation, withdrawal, and emotional distance. Dr. Emerson says most men think they're doing the honorable thing when they go silent or shut down. He reminds us this whole conversation assumes goodwill between both partners. This isn't about someone who would sell their kids for drugs. We're not talking about the outliers. But that silence, no matter how noble it feels, doesn't come across as strong. It comes across as uncaring. He also teaches that men and women see life through different lenses, what he calls blue sunglasses and pink sunglasses. We interpret things differently and then accuse each other of not making sense. That was us. I thought I was doing the respectful thing by staying calm and silent. But to Arlene, that silence wasn't loving. It felt cold and distancing when she was craving connection. And because I wasn't loving unconditionally, I kept the cycle alive without realizing it. I kept thinking, if I could just explain myself better, she'd calm down. But it never worked. I was being accused of wanting another woman. She would tell me, go be with so-and-so. Of course, this was the furthest thing from the truth. So I defended myself. I defended my love. I defended my faithfulness. I expected her to understand how much I loved her through my acts of service, how I take care of her, show up, provide. But let me tell you, trying to fight an emotional storm with logic is a losing battle. I'd come away from our hours of fighting feeling like a verbal punching bag. The more I tried to prove I wasn't the enemy, the more she saw me as one. And that's when it hit me. I was fighting for logic, when what she needed was love. Not the kind of love that says, I love you when you're kind, but the kind that says, even now, even in this, I choose you. It was when I realized that it wasn't Arlene who was yelling. It was the little girl inside her, the one whose arm was broken by her father, the one who was raped at 7, the one who was never believed. That's when I softened, and I told her, it's the hurt girl inside you, desperately desiring to be loved, and I'm never leaving you. No matter how much you try to drive me away, I'm with you. That's what broke the cycle. Not a clever argument, not a breakthrough conversation, just showing up with love, not defense, trusting God's word. Loving Arlene differently didn't mean letting go of who I am. It meant letting go of who I was trying to be in the conflict. I stopped trying to be right. I stopped trying to fix her emotions with logic. I started listening, really listening, even when her words stung. I stayed in the conversation, even when she didn't. We're 8,000 miles apart. She's in the Philippines, and I'm here in the US. And on those calls, when she was hurting the most, she would hang up on me. Again and again, I'd call back. She'd say something even harsher and hang up again. Sometimes she wouldn't answer at all. It was terrible. And I'll be honest, in my own frustration, I'd say things like, be a wife. Meaning, you said, I do, so stop threatening to leave. Or I'd say, put on your big girl pants and grow up. I thought I was calling her to commitment, but what I was really doing was trying to control what I didn't understand, because I couldn't see the pain behind the anger. But when I finally did, when I saw the little girl inside her, in pain, everything changed. That's when my heart softened, as well as my whole body. That's when I could finally see her the way God sees her, not as a problem to solve, but as a person to love. I reassured her. I stayed. I stopped trying to prove I loved her and started becoming the proof. I gave her my presence, even through a screen. I chose patience over pride, softness over strength. Not perfectly, not without pain, but consistently. That's what began to heal her. Not just what I said, but how I stayed, how I saw her, how I finally loved her God's way.
I have got my beautiful wife Arlene with us today, and it is 1 in the afternoon here in America, in West Virginia. And guess what? It is 1, whatever time it is, I can't read, 15 in the morning there in the Philippines. So it's very reasonable that she's a little tired. She's been such a trooper with all this, staying up so late, and so that we can share our stories with you. And so, honey, I just want you to share your story with those that are watching.
Yes. When I was a teenager, I had just gotten my license. I was driving the car, and my father was in the back having an affair with my sister's mother in law. My hands gripped the steering wheel as I watched the road cracked open right in front of me. The betrayal was doubled, not just any woman, but family. Someone who sat at our dinner table, someone my mother trusted completely. I ran to tell my mother, desperate for someone to believe me, to protect what was left of our family, but she wouldn't listen. She couldn't bear to hear the two people closest to her had shattered everything. She couldn't hear the truth, even from her own daughter. That's when I've learned that speaking up meant nothing, that my voice didn't matter. The only way to protect myself was to withdraw from sharing. No more speaking out, no more trying to protect. It wasn't safe to be me. Unfortunately, emotions now just build up inside, with more stories being made in my mind. But the silence, it turned into something else. It became a weapon I didn't even know I was carrying. Every time I get scared with my husband, I say things I don't mean. I accuse him of not being open, as if he's hiding something. In our last fight, I called him a liar and a cheater, even though I know he's faithful. I interrupt him. I don't let him say a word. I don't want him to speak. Because in my past, every time I tried to speak, it only brought pain, physical pain, emotional pain from my own parents. I told myself I was protecting my heart, but deep down, I think I was testing if love could stay this time, testing if they would abandon me like trust had abandoned me before. We've been listening to Dr. Emerson's book, Love and Respect, and this time I saw a change in how my husband Josh responded to me. I saw a softness in him. He saw the hurt teenager begging for love and acceptance instead of Tyrannosaurus Rex. And when he didn't shut down or fight back like I expected, when he was just stayed patient, waiting for me to find my way back to kindness, something inside me began to believe again. Not all at once, not perfectly, but slowly I started to feel seen. He looked at me, not like I was broken, not like I was too much to handle. He looked at me like I was worth loving anyway, like my voice mattered, like the scared little girl in that car deserved to be heard finally. He taught me that love doesn't leave when you're afraid. Real love, it stays, it listens, it helps you remember who you are underneath all that old pain.
You know, that is such a vulnerable share, and I just appreciate your heart so much. And I appreciate Dr. Emerson in learning new ways. We keep learning new ways to how to be, how to communicate, because we love each other so, so much, and yet we still cause each other so much hurt and pain. And I can see where I've been unloving at times and not providing unconditional love. And so it's my goal to be that loving husband that I'm commanded to be, and not just out of a commandment, but out of a reverence for who and what we are. We're each individual manifestations of the I am. And so stepping into that truth, living into that truth. And I am so grateful to be married to you, so grateful for your love. And I am deeply honored to be with you today and for you to share this with the audience. So thank you so much for that.
Thank you, husband.
That moment broke something in me, not in a painful way, in a freeing way. For so long, I believed I had to be strong, composed, right. But what I really needed was to soften, to stop trying to fix her, to stop trying to fix me, and just love her. Without judgment, without conditions, without needing to be understood first. That was the moment I stopped defending myself and started defending us. It wasn't easy. I had to choose love in the middle of feeling hurt. I had to remind myself that her pain wasn't proof I was failing. It was proof that she needed safety more than answers. And something shifted between us. Not instantly, but she could feel it. And so could I. Real love doesn't always feel romantic. Sometimes it feels like staying when you want to run, like listening when you want to defend, like softening when everything in you wants to shut down. That's the kind of love we're learning to give each other. Not perfect, not polished, but present. And it's changing everything. If you're in a relationship where the pain feels louder than the love, I want you to know you're not broken. You're not too much. You're not too late. Sometimes the first step isn't fixing the relationship. It's choosing not to abandon yourself and choosing to stay, even if that means staying with love, while the other person learns to feel safe in it. If you're caught in your own crazy cycle, feeling unloved, disrespected, or like you're stuck repeating the same pain, I want to invite you to try something simple, but not easy. If you're a man, try giving unconditional love, even when it's hard. And if you're a woman, try offering unconditional respect, even when it's not deserved. That's what Dr. Emerson calls us to in Love and Respect. And it's what helps save our marriage. You don't have to fix everything today. Just try going first. Try softening instead of shutting down. Try listening instead of defending. Love and respect aren't just reactions, they're sacred decisions. And when you make them with your whole heart, healing begins. I'll leave a link below to Dr. Emerson's YouTube video if you'd like to go deeper. It's worth watching. It changed everything for us. And if this story spoke to you, share yours in the comments. You never know who else it might help. Until next time, stay grounded, stay open, and above all, stay in love and respect.